So the former President Trump, they attempted to take him out last night and were unsuccessful. Now, there's been a lot of reports in the media. There's a lot of rumours flying around, crazy accusations, salacious comments, and political commentators are all desperate to give their opinion. So I'd give mine because mine's just the best. And you know it is. That's why you're here. So let's get into it. What do we know? We know that the shooter was a Democrat donor. We know he was a Republican Party member. That shouldn't surprise anybody because there's been a lot of Democrats that have joined the Republican Party to vote against Trump in the primaries, or to ensure basically that Biden gets his safe ride back to the presidency. That seems to have failed. So that's what we know. We also know that the security around the former president is inadequate. Megyn Kelly has been on her TV show saying the same thing. When she went to interview him, she noticed that there seems to be a lack of security, not enough security. So that's also a question mark. But then we know the answer to that as well, because the Democrats have cut the funding to the former president and his security detail. It's not what it should be. They put in requests for more and it's been cut back. Why? Is there a reason for that? I'd like to know. The entire world would like to know. What I'd also like to know is when people in the crowds are going to the police in Pennsylvania and they're actually saying to the police, listen, there's somebody on the roof with the gun, you might want to do something about that, and they do nothing. Well, why is that? Can we have answers, please? Inquiring minds need to know. Well, what I also say is when we get leftists or libtards on the interwebs and on the airwaves in the UK saying basically the former president brought it on himself because of his language, I'm like, no, political violence is never needed and never necessary. You can say pretty much anything within reason and you shouldn't be assaulted or killed for it. I abhor Joe Cox getting killed and David Amos, MPs in our country. They shouldn't have been murdered, one on the left and one on the right. Both are tragic and both shouldn't have happened. But then we get Joe Cox's widower on the radio saying, well, it's basically Trump's fault. And I'm like, that is a disgusting comment to make. You, of all people, should know, what this type of language that you're using now, basically, he had it coming. You lost your wife to violence from a random crazy, and you think that's okay? No, it's not. Final thoughts until we know more. What I'd like to say is those images that have gone around the world that have the president or the former president defiantly turning around saying fight, fight, fight. If anyone thought that he wasn't going to win this year in the election, I think they're convinced now that he has actually won. I think there's a lot of people in America that wouldn't have voted for him that will vote for him now because of this very reason, to send a clear message that this type of thing is not tolerated and won't be accepted. Also, it was interesting that the current president thinks that this level of violence in America isn't the norm, especially in politics. Former presidents have been assassinated for, and including that, there's also been assassination attempts on former political targets like Bobby Kennedy, I believe, and other attempts like on Ronald Reagan. So, I'm not American, but I know this, and yet you've got the current American president doesn't know these basic things about his own country. I'm starting to think he might not be well. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a, physician. I'm starting to get the feeling that Joe Biden might not, or, he needs to be in front of a TV, eating pudding and just enjoying his dosage. That's what I think about Joe. And I don't actually want to insult the man because at this point, I think it's cruel. I think it's cruelty. I really do. And I mean that with love. I don't wish anyone ill, especially someone like that. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know what to do. You know you love me. So just do what you need to do, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.